It's just one of those things where a kid from Fresno, California, who lived in the Caribbean and Canada and Texas is able to do something about sneakers, and when really the whole heart of sneaker culture and collecting and everything roots back to New York, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like if it wasn't for New York, if it wasn't for hip hop, sneakers would not be the same thing at all.
At all.
At all.
What up, it's Esteban, and I'm in Nice Kicks, hanging out with the man, Matt Halfhill. What's up, man?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. I'm in Austin, Texas.
Yes, sir.
South by
South by Southwest.
We had to come by here and check you guys out, man. So tell me how this got started. What came first? Was it the blog? Was it the site? Was it the store?
We started off with a blog in a spare bedroom in a rental house 7 years ago. Then the store happened in 2010. So we're just celebrating our 3rd-year anniversary of the store.
Nice.
And then this week, 7th anniversary of the blog.
So what happened was the blog so huge that it opened up to this? Was this always the dream to have the store?
It always was a dream of mine personally, because my first job when I was 16 years old was working at a shoe store, and I always told myself, like, when I have a store, this is the way it's gonna be. That when I do my own shop, this is how it's gonna be. And this is before there were even really sneaker shops. You know, there was just spots in the mall, and you know, this is way before the days of A-Life, Undefeated, or any of the OGs. We just saw that there was a need here in our local community. We're like, let's, you know, there's no better place to do it than, you know, right here at home.
Tell me about the growth of the site from the spare bedroom to, you know, blowing up as probably the most important sneaker site we have.
We started, man, it was just me and my wife for a number of years, and then it started in 2000, at the end of 2008, so just 2 years, I guess, looking back at it now. 2 years, we decided, you know what, we're gonna really expand this. We're gonna look to not just create a great sneaker site, but a great site, period. So people who might casually be into shoes would happen upon the site and say, you know what, I'm gonna add this to my bookmark list, or I'm gonna email my friend or tell a friend on MySpace, because, you know, we didn't have Twitter or Facebook then. So that was what the idea was, and we brought on our original 4, and it's kind of great, you know, all 4 of the original 4 employees that joined us in 2008 are still working with us in some capacity or another.
It blows my mind how you find these stories and get them up first and become like a destination. So what was it like finding content for Nice Kicks?
Oh man, it was tough. It was tough. I mean, basically the idea for Nice Kicks was, you know, an easily digestible and authoritative voice for sneakerheads. Because at the time, there were just message boards and forums, which were great because everybody could contribute, but that was also the double-edged sword, which made it bad because you had lots of rumors, lots of false information. So really what I saw was like, yo, there needs to be, somebody needs to actually verify this information and use a little bit of journalism 101 once in a while to make sure that they get their stuff straight before telling the masses. You know, it's just the beauty of the internet. I could be anywhere and access a lot of the information. And, you know, I also hit the road too. Like, my wife and I made lots of trips to New York, to Houston, to LA, to all kinds of places, making connections with people we knew in the industry were, like, you know, important people. And we made sure to network and build those relationships and all that kind of stuff, and that helped with getting information. And then a couple years later, we started getting phone calls from different brands, and we were like, whoa.
Nice.
When we got phone calls from brands and like emails from brands, we're like, oh my goodness, like, that was like this moment where, you know, my wife said, like, you know, we're actually impacting business. And it was just like this moment, like, that I just couldn't, I'll never forget where I was, you know, when it happened.
Speaking of impacting business, last time we spoke to Greg, he was telling us, but wouldn't tell us in detail, that you guys got some dope collabs coming up with brands. So how does a sneaker site, sneaker store, impact business so much that now you're designing sneakers?
I mean, I haven't even thought of it like that. I've just been going one day to the next, one day to the next, to the next. To me, it's a beautiful thing. Like, I see, like, you know, we've done some collabs, and, you know, seeing some ideas borrowed from those projects, you know, it's, to me, I think like that's a very humbling thing to see that we've done something and it's inspired others, be it another person who's doing collab or be it a designer at a brand, you know, see some kind of style cue that we did and they're like, okay, let's try this. And that to me is just a humbling thing to know.
Please tell me about the Nice Cream Truck. How did this idea come about?
Man, the idea came out like in 2009 when we had our first internship, and I was joking around with people and saying like how we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and I was just playing off the word nice. Then I was joking with one of the kids, and I'm like, yeah, the next thing that you're gonna see after the nice box is the Nice Cream Truck. And just everybody laughed about that, like the Nice Cream Truck. And it's a little tiny, tiny truck. So it's just, you can't just help but just laugh at the thing when you see it go around town. It just looks cute. And so I was like, okay, let's get the 13s on it. Let's drop it a little bit, put the white wall tires, and of course you gotta have the ice cream music on it. Like if it doesn't have, it's gotta be legit. It can't just be a truck rolling around looking like an ice cream truck.
Right. Without giving everything away, what can you give us about these collabs? When can we expect them? You know.
Well, one of them that's coming up, we're gonna be doing like a really different way from what we've done before, and the way that a lot of people have done. You know, there's almost this roadmap that people follow with, here's the teaser image, here's a little bit of information, here's a full like image gallery with a release date and price, and then a release reminder. Like, yeah, there's like a blueprint that was set up. But we're like, we have one that is completely opposite of that. And there's not gonna be information out about it. There's not gonna be photos out about it. And all I will say is that when it drops, I hope you have a full tank of gas in your car. That's all I'm gonna say.
Why, because it's only gonna be here?
I'm not gonna say anything.